WECU 1570 AM and W298BX 107.5 FM, Winterville, North Carolina. WNOS 1450 AM and W272EK 102.3 FM, licensed to Hoover, North Carolina.
Motivation with Glenn.
Good day, everyone. Thank you for tuning into Awesome Radio, 107.5 FM, 1570 WECU, Greenville, Winterville, North Carolina. I am chosen to do some motivational topics for Christian Gadget Radio. And I would ask my boss if you could mention a couple of things on the list, because if you know someone that's a professional or educated in a particular field, please allow me to join the conversation on the broadcast. Here's my Jacqueline Cullins.
Hey, Dr. Glenn, to our listening audience on today. We are so glad that you took time to tune in on today. We have a great subject, as Dr. Glenn said. We're just throwing out a few things out here today. If you happen to know someone that is a professional or who may want to come on and be a guest, talk about some of these topics, they are more than welcome. You can contact Dr. Glenn with email or the studio. You can even call in live while we're on the air. And hey, let me give you that phone number on today. That phone number is 252-756-2008. And you're welcome to call in at any time while we are on the air, and you will be live in the air with Dr. Glenn and myself.
And my email address is Glenn, Glenn Johnson Show at gmail.com. Once again, that's Glenn Johnson Show at gmail.com. Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm just going to read off a few of the topics, and you're going to allow you that if you know someone or you're a person that may have some expertise or some knowledge in these areas, that you could come and you can be a guest on the show with us. I mean, you don't have to show on camera. A lot of people, they don't want to come on because they don't want to be on camera, but you can call in and still be live on the air with Dr. Glenn and myself. That's possible.
Sorry, Apostle. And also, I like to try to ascertain information with the doctor's perspective, if it's a medical issue or if it's a professional in any other field. But it's always great to have a local person on that has knowledge of the particular information.
That's right. And you don't have to be an expert. You could just be good at it. And you have some tips that you want to share with us, or you want us to, sometimes people think they have to have PhD behind their name or doctor or something, you know what I mean? And you don't necessarily, that doesn't, there's some people that have those titles and they're still not good at what they do.
That's exactly true.
So I'm just saying, if you're good at any of these particular titles, you can call in and you can be a guest with us on the show and have some input on these particular subjects. So one of them is resilience and overcoming challenges. And I cannot say that some of these topics we've not talked about in a different form.
Yeah.
I know that we talk about resilience and overcoming challenges, and I'm thinking in the early time when I came here
Yeah.
to the broadcast, personal growth and mindset. That's another topic that if you would like to come in, I know we talked about it in a different form and in some way, but it's still to make it plain your personal growth and mindset. A lot of the subjects that we talk or that we bring here, even though it's not that particular subject, it encompasses personal growth and mindset.
Some of it is intercorrelated with other topics.
That's right. They're all intertwined, and this motivation is to motivate you to do something. It's to motivate you for some changes or to motivate you to do something in a more positive way.
Absolutely.
There's another one here, professional success and productivity. That's a great one. I think that can stand all by itself. Protect professional success and productivity. We're talking about being a professional. What do you do at your job? Or what do you do? Even this.
And you know what? That could be a part 1, 2, and 3.
Oh yeah, it has three names on it, and it can do each one can have its own subject.
Because right from the start, I can tell you, if you like what you're doing, you're gonna be more successful at it.
Yes.
You'll be great at it. But if you hate your job, you're just gonna be a person that's not really interested in working.
That's right. And not only just a job, something you're being paid for, something that you're called to, like even what we do today, it is, operating in some areas of gifting, in talent, that you have a talent to be on this place or on this platform. Everybody can't do it. Everybody's not interested, interesting, and everybody they just don't have the spirit to draw people. But this platform, it is a nice one. It's a large one. We have some dedicated callers and some dedicated listeners that I often hear. I don't always tell you, Dr. Glenn, but I do get feedback a lot of times from people and say, I really I heard the show today and I really enjoyed the show.
You know how many times that happened to me? But I'll tell you what, you're successful when you're good, when you're recognized by just one name. My name might be Dr. Glenn Johnson, but when people call me Glenn, I really listen. They heard me and they acknowledge me and they're thankful for it. So I'm recognized with one name, Glenn. Or, I got a couple of different names, but I just use that one. Or like Oprah, people don't call her Oprah, call her Oprah. She's recognized by just Oprah because she's that successful. So her name is synonymous to being great.
Oh yeah, well, when people recognize me, they never say Jacqueline. They always say Apostle. They always call me Apostle. Yeah, they say that like that's my first name.
So you recognize me?
Yeah, by that. And so another topic here it says health and well-being, focusing on holistic health. That's a very good one, and I think we've done a subject very close to that. Maybe some of them break down that particular, subject or in there. Financial independence and life skills. That's a powerful one. There's a lot of people that don't have financial skills.
I know, but that reminds me when we do this show on money, U.S. money, U.S. currency. That was plays the same money. We did documents about saving money and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's included with that.
Yeah, and knowing how to, people how to budget and pay bills. A lot of times people, they get so tempted, and I'm just saying this and I'm going to move on. We're not going to get into the subject, but sometimes they get so tempted with what they want versus what they need. And a lot of times people don't know the difference between, and they'll buy what they want and then beg for what they need.
I just want to mention one thing on that aspect. I know a guy that went to the bank to apply for a loan to get caught up on some bills, but his credit score was so bad, they would have never been part of paying to fill the application.
Wow. There are people like that. And I see people, they'll send it for a holiday or something, and then the next few weeks, they are being put out of their home Why would you spend all that money on a costume or on an Easter basket or something else, trying to stay up with a holiday versus paying your bills?
Yeah, they wasn't using the right mindset.
That's right. And I'm not saying don't celebrate. I'm just saying sometimes you got to cut it down. And you cannot spend as much on that as you would like to. And then sometimes you got to cut it out. So there is prioritizing. That's a lot to be taught in there with financial independence and life skills. And it says also here, it said mindset mentor provide. So if we could have a mindset mentor, that would be great. Or someone that does mentoring.
And Apostle, we have 1 minute before the break. So if you will tell our audience what today's topic is and what we're going to get to after the break.
So our topic today, we're talking about sleep environment and quality sleep. I believe that there's a lot of people that don't get good sleep. And we're going to give you some tips today and some cues to help you get good sleep. It's very important. Sleep is so important to your health and your well-being. Dr. Glenn?
I'm going to tell everybody my story of my sleep issue. I get up at 2:30 a.m. every morning. But besides that, I had an issue with waking up one day, and I'll explain that as we proceed to the broadcast. 30 seconds, pause.
Hey, we want you to call in because we know you got some good tips to give us today about sleeping and good quality and what should be in the room. If you don't, keep your ears open today, and we're going to give you some great tips and that you'll be able to use in your environment that will help you get some quality sleep. Hey, you can call in today. We want to hear from you, and we'd love to have you on the air right here with myself and Dr. Glenn. Hey, this is Awesome Radio, Motivations with Glenn and Apostle Jacqueline Cullins Williams. Back in a moment.
Hello, my name is Daniel out of Greenville. Thank you for listening to Awesome Radio, 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WECU.
Okay.
It's Mother's Day Love Day for Awesome Radio at the McGregor Dallas Health Center, Greenville. Thank you, everyone, for your givings to help make this community act of love possible. We will be delivering gift bags to each lady resident at McGregor Downs on Friday, May 8th. If you would like to join us, please let us know so we can add your name to the visitors list. Our number is 252-756-3137. Let's come together to spread Jesus' joy to the lady residents at McGregor Downs Health Center. Reach us at 252-756-3137.
My name is Mary
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Coach Show. Here on Awesome Radio, 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WCU, WNOS, 1450 AM, 102.3 FM, Dewberg, WYLCLP, 100.3 FM, Rocky Mountain, and WBISP, 106.9 FM, Espanol, Winterville, all of North Carolina. You're still tuned in to the show. Motivation Glenn, all happening now. Here's Apostle.
Hey, we're so glad that you're hanging in there with us and waiting to hear these wonderful tips that we're going to give you about getting good quality sleep and the environment. A lot of times, sleep can be interrupted because of your environment. And a lot of times we don't see that. We think when we get sleepy, we just need to go and lay down. And as Dr. Glenn talked about waking up at 2, there sometimes can be, and I want to say this before we get into all of the tips that we're going to give you, that there sometimes can be something medically going on in your body that can disturb your rest and cause you not to get sleep. And I'm talking about things like sleep apnea, if you're snoring and those type of things. We didn't bring any papers to talk about those things, but that's another whole subject. And those are some sleep conditions that can cause you not to get sleep.
That sleep apnea is not too far away from dying.
It definitely is. And it is something that you need to take care of. You need to look after because you're going to be sleepy in the daytime. And so much so until you may not be able to stay awake. You don't want to be driving and you're falling asleep because you're having sleep apnea at night and now you're tired in the daytime.
I have a friend in Philadelphia that suffers from sleep apnea. And thank God he was home one day. He just fell right to sleep, smooth and straight, while he was standing up, hit the floor. So I'm glad he wasn't driving. He was home standing up.
Oh yeah, it definitely can cause a lot of things. And there are other things that can cause you not to, certain chemical imbalances in your body that can cause you, lack of certain, minerals and vitamins and things that can also cause you to be up, stress and different things. And so we'll get into some of those subjects very, very quickly. We're going to have Dr. Glenn to give us one of the audios, and then we're going to go into looking at some key elements of sleep, of a sleep-inducing environment, some things that are going to help you to sleep better. Dr. Glenn?
Yeah, because Apostle mentioned some things are medical and some things are electronic. When we get to our second audio, which is 4 minutes and a half in its entirety, we'll talk about some of those things and I'll explain to you my situation. But here's our first audio clip, which is only 57 seconds.
Dementia, and it even affects Dr. Summers offers the following tips. Avoid alcohol at big meals before bed. Don't exercise.
I apologize. Start that over again.
Dr. Glenn Summers is a cardiologist who studies sleep.
Sleep is very much important to this for good reason, because sleep affects all the organs.
Poor sleep may increase your risk of conditions such as heart disease, obesity, depression, dementia, and even affects how you look. Dr. Summers offers the following tips. Avoid alcohol at big meals before bed. Don't exercise right before bed. And turn off all screens, including your smartphone, an hour before bed.
Bright lights all over the place. And then we switch lights off. We lie in bed supposed to sleep. The bed is for sex and sleep. It's not for spreadsheets. It's not for watching TV.
He also suggests keeping your bedroom as dark and quiet as possible. Healthy sleep for a healthy life. For the Mayo Clinic News Network, I'm Ian Williams.
Okay, that was perfect. Real clip. And actually, this is something in the audio clip that I want to mention. But we have 5 minutes remaining. So I'll give it back over to Apostle Jacqueline Cullins.
Hey, yes, Dr. Lynn, we don't want to miss that. Don't forget to tell us what you were going to say. Well, I know one particular thing on that audio caught my attention and said that sleep affects how you look. So I guess some of these people walking around looking kind of ugly. It may be the fact that they're not getting enough sleep. Well, and I'm sure they're talking about in the way of having bags and dark circles under your eyes. It does. It looks like you've been through something when you're not getting good sleep. I know myself, I don't get the big bags, but I do get those dark circles, especially when it's allergy season or if I'm extremely tired. So it can, a lot of people, they're putting cold things and tea bags up under there, trying to get those bags and trying not to look like they've been hanging out all night, trying to change the way they look. But it also talked about how it can affect your organs in your body from not and cause and be more greater risk for heart issues and different things from not getting proper sleep.
That's right. I know a girl who said her name was Halle Berry, but she didn't get enough sleep one day. Looked like a Buick. No, but let me tell you what. So, Apostle mentioned health-related issues related to sleep, but as the doctor pointed out, sometimes it could be electronics. My issue with the electronics is this. So last year, I got out of my car, got out of my driveway, I'm riding down the street. Everything in the road seemed to be in the center of the street. Everything on the left side, everything on the right side was in the center of the street. I had to pull over because I couldn't drive like that. I went to the urgent care, but they couldn't do it because they don't have the eye equipment to get a complete examination. So I had an emergency appointment with my ophthalmologist. They examined my eyes. I had to wear a patch over my left eye for 30 days because my left eye was pointing inwards towards my right eye. The eye of everything appeared to be in the center of the street. And she said after 30 days, with these drops I'm going to give you, everything should go back to normal within 90 days. And believe me, within 90 days, everything went back to normal. But she also said that when you look at your computer, we wasn't trying to get your attention. It is that like this power strip. So we shut the computer off, shut off the power strip also. Because the power strip light is drawing your attention to get back on the computer. And I stopped doing all that. I had that paralysis.
Wow. Well, how did that affect with sleep though? I see how it affected your eyes, but did it affect your sleep? Was sleep connected with that?
People would like to try and go for what they call it, sleep study.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for the sleep study. And because of that, they say, well, the light, you're thinking about the light in your mind while you sleep, that power strip light. So when you shut the computer off, shut off the power strip too. Because it's that light illuminated from the power strip. It's gone. It's I'm not one of the biggest thing in the world. It's not what the people call it unconscious thinking, but it's subconsciously that's triggering my brain to get back on the computer.
Well, I read something that said 1 in 3 adults don't get proper sleep. So 3 out of 3 people, 1 is going to be sleepy or not sleeping well or not getting proper sleep. That's something to think about, you know, that you stand at 3 people and one of you is not getting proper sleep.
And there's a lot of professions where you have to get plenty of sleep. And I'll tell you 2 off the top of my head. You have to be a well-slept pilot.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be a well-slept police officer.
Yeah, we don't want the sleepy police officer, the sleepy pilot. I don't want a sleepy dentist or doctor. I'm just telling you, I don't want any of them sleepy. There's other things. I don't want a sleepy driver, the person driving next to me. I don't want somebody counting out my change and they're sleepy. I want my banker to be awake so they don't make mistakes at the register or even at the register or with my money.
I hope they are sleepy so you can give me back $100 instead of $1.
Yeah, well then they'll be coming after you for, hey, we're getting ready to go out on a break. We're going to come right back and we're going to put out some of these tips so that you can see and you'll have optimal sleep, or you'll have some facts that you'll be able to use to help you get good sleep. This is Awesome Radio, back in a moment.
The 11th Annual Youth Incarceration Prevention Ministry event beginning 12 noon Saturday, June 6th at St. John Missionary Baptist Church, Soul Saving Center in Stokes at 2921 Briar Swamp Road. Youth of all ages are invited to attend this totally free event. Come get motivated to not make jail time your destiny. Keynote speaker Sheriff Paula S. Dates, along with other guest speakers to include Judge Wendy S. Hazelton, Lieutenant Gary Howard, Jalen Staten, Minister Derek Clark, Mrs. Julie Bunn. There will be gift card giveaways, food trucks, global gaming truck, bouncy houses, and more. Contact Eddie 252-341-7546. Evelyn 252-253-9520. Brenda 252-717-0097. The 11th Annual Youth Incarceration Prevention Ministry event, Saturday, June 6th, beginning 12 noon at St. John Missionary Baptist Church, Soul Saving Center in Stokes. Pastor Gregory V. Black. Scholarships and recipients will be recognized at this event.
Hello, my name is Tracy. You're listening to Awesome Radio. Thank you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lynn Johnson Show. Motivation with Glenn and awesome job with those whips. We have 30 minutes remaining for this broadcast, and I would like to now go to our video clip, which is 4.5 minutes, and that way that'll give Apostle myself time to do the remainder of the documents that we have in front of us.
Sleeping with a partner means you need to negotiate things like the bed and the bedroom environment, and it's not always the easiest. Believe it or not, there are a lot of things to negotiate in the bedroom, and we're not even talking about intimacy, which is itself a lot to figure out. Let's look at 4 things you and your partner should discuss to get your best sleep together. By the way, if you're checking out this video because sharing a bed is new to you, then expect that it's going to take some time. Sleeping with a bed partner can be a big transition, so expect that your sleep isn't going to be ideal for a little bit. Our other suggestion right at the top is to use this conversation about your bedroom as an opportunity to build and strengthen your relationship. This should be a chance for you to both build a bedroom that you both can look forward to and feel comfortable with. Okay, let's talk about your bed, and specifically the size. A queen bed should be the absolute minimum. If you're both switched onto a full size, I don't know what to tell you, it's not going to work. But if you can swing it both financially and spatially in your room, a king is a great choice. A king size is big enough to give each of you your own space, but it can also give you space for pets that want to come too. And if you're looking for a bed, you're going to find a lot of inexpensive all foam beds on the market. They're easy to ship and they tend to be pretty comfortable, but they are not very durable. If you and your partner are different body weights and sleeping styles, one of you is bound to be uncomfortable. We recommend you look for a hybrid bed. These are a little more money, yes, but they will last longer, and we find they are great picks for couples who need different support or firmness preferences. And while we're talking about your bed, think about your bed too. Here's a bit of a hack. Like if you have a king bed, get 2 separate comforters. That way, you're not stealing covers in the middle of the night. And if one of you maybe sleeps hot or sleeps cool, you can each sleep with a comforter that keeps you warmer or cooler at night. And don't overlook your pillow. You and your partner likely have different sleeping positions, so you'll each need a pillow that works for you. Pillows are sold in bundles of 2, but pillows are not a one-size-fits-all kind of product. While the deal might be tempting, stick with individual pillows for each of you. All right, let's talk about your bedtime. While it'd be great if you and your partner were both early risers or both night owls, that's not always the case. So the first step is to have a conversation about your preferences. If you both are aligned on the same schedule, then talk about what a bedtime routine might be, like preparing your morning coffee or tea together or getting ready for bed together. If you are someone who likes to go to bed earlier or stay up later than your partner, then talk about how to accommodate one another while still getting your rest. For instance, going to bed at the same time doesn't always need to be a thing. And if you do want to head to bed early while your partner stays up, invest in a high-quality iPad or earbuds. The point is, work with one another to help each other get the best sleep possible. Oh, talk about that cuddle time once you fall into bed too. You may fall asleep cozying up together, but that's not necessarily best for your sleep. So give yourself some time for physical touch and intimacy, but then don't be afraid to roll over and get some sleep. All right, let's talk about the bedroom, because the environment is another thing to think through. First, discuss the temperature, something you can both agree on. Ideally, you want a bedroom between 65 to 67 degrees. Then, consider ways to block out the light. Blackout curtains are a great investment. Your pretty bed, let the ladies pick them out. Okay? And then decide on something to block out the sound. Get a white noise machine or a fan. Of course, if just one of you wants white noise, consider investing in a sleep mask that also plays music via Bluetooth. Game changer. Lots of great options out there. Our final tip is this: protect your bedroom. If you're parents, it can be really tempting to let your kids jump into bed with you in the middle of the night. Or maybe you're someone like me who just loves having my pets in bed with me. But I do strongly recommend that you preserve your bed for you and your partner. So that means setting boundaries for your kids, and possibly those pets do. But if you have cats, good luck, because we know a closed door doesn't.
Okay, that was 4 minutes. That was 4 minutes. That was 5 minutes. Let's take a second. I'm going to do a pause right now. I want to mention one thing. When she said the pillow situation, I can't imagine sharing a pillow with your partner. Of course, you have individual pillows. Could you imagine sharing a pillow with your husband?
I definitely can imagine it, and I do make it a demand. Now, I must say this: I have a husband, and he doesn't want to share his pillow. There are pillow battles, and I always start when I get in bed by getting on his pillow. Because he doesn't want to share his pillow. So I just jump right up there and get on his side because I'm always the one that's climbing in bed first. And then he'll say, "Get off my pillow." And I say, "Well, you need to share some with me." Because he'll always have 3 or 4 pillows. I only have 2.
I can understand the comforter and stuff like that. The pillow I can understand. How could you share a pillow with somebody? You have to have your own pillow. You might like your pillow hot, whereas the other individual might like your pillow cold. I'm a cold pillow person.
Yeah, and he is too. He went and bought some cold pillows, cooling pillows. And I didn't think I was going to like them. So he had them, and then I wanted one. So, yeah, I did. I had to go get one, a couple of them from him. So I'm not going to reveal all because, about the pillow battles, but anyhow, or any other battles. But it did say here, negotiating with a partner. And that's a very important thing is, whether you sleep hot or cold. My husband loves to sleep cold. I mean, hot. He's hot. He has on fans and the air conditioner. And even in the wintertime, he has on fans.
They mentioned something about temperature.
Yeah.
He probably warm or hot. Whereas he probably cool and cold.
I like it warm. I'm under that cover and he has those fans on. And so if I get hot, the way I cool myself down, I just take my feet from under the cover. If my feet are cold, then I'm cold. If my feet are hot, then I'm hot. So I just regulate my temperature with my feet. I just stick them from under or put them back under there. But he loves those fans, and I said it's not the sound of the fan. I think it's the sound of the fan more than the fan itself. Because there's a constant hum,
Yeah, oscillating fan.
He got an oscillating one and one that's not. It has 2 fans. Running 2 fans.
I was about to say, you mentioned the thing about the feet. I have to have my feet under the cover, rather than hot or cold. My feet just have to be under the cover.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to do there. We're down to 2 minutes here. I want to say that one of the things it says here is light control. Make sure that you control the amount of light in. And it said that here, melatonin production, darkness triggers melatonin production. Melatonin causes us to sleep. And a lot of people take melatonin in itself in a supplement so that they can sleep.
One other thing you mentioned about music. Some people have to sleep with music on. Maybe they have a Bluetooth headset, maybe have a small table radio going. My son is one of those individuals. He cannot sleep unless he hears some kind of noise.
Yeah, and I know it's a lot of people that are like that. My husband's like that too. I am okay with some music. It just has to be something that I can sleep to. Some of the stuff he's listening to, I say sci-fi and weird music. It sounds like something that, the music from when Frankenstein raised up his wife. I don't need that while I'm sleeping. I need something that's smooth. And sometimes he's playing like Michael Jackson. I'm like, I can't do it with Michael at night. I can't do it with Michael Jackson at night. Michael has to go.
You know what makes me sleep really good? If I listen to some symphonic music or orchestral music, I go to sleep like a baby.
Yes, and I like piano worship that doesn't have any words, piano hymns, that kind of stuff that doesn't have any words. And I can really get in with those particular things, but it's when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and Michael's over there singing and dancing. I can't do it. And then I'm angry because I woke up and now I'm hearing that sound.
Because it's not sleep music, that's pop music.
Yeah.
Having a good time and dancing and stuff. So that's why.
Yeah, and some of it, depends on what it is. It can be okay. Like some of Marvin Gaye's more mellow music, I can be okay with it. But then when I wake up and hear it, I'm like, turn that off. Or the TV's left on, I'm upset because there's a loud sound that has suddenly startled us out of sleep. And I'm awake now because I heard it on TV. Hey, If you want to give us a call and call in, you're still welcome to do so. We have a little bit more time. This is the Glenn Johnson Show, and you're listening to us right here on Awesome Radio. Motivations with Glenn, back in a moment.
Health Pro is a licensed home care organization and a trusted provider of in-home care services with skilled nursing and personal care services. When your elderly parents live alone, there are many things that can be done to make general housekeeping and personal care easier. We are located at 408 West Arlington Boulevard, Suite 101C, Greenville. At Health Pro, our services provide a relief for the aged and the disabled population who prefer to recover in the comfort of their homes. Our services expand beyond the normal, and we are currently serving 17 counties in Eastern North Carolina. Veteran personal care services, companion care, center care, respite care, private pay home care, pediatric, adolescent personal care services are just a few of the many services we offer. Health Pro, a local, trusted, leading provider of in-home care services. 252-364-8114. That's 252-364-8114.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Glenn Johnson Show. Motivations with Glenn and Apostle Jacqueline Cullins. I noticed that Apostle was over the studio office and the white stuff down as usual. What taking guys. So I want to get back to the Apostle. But before we get into the podcast, I want to go over the list of our intentions for upcoming motivational shows. Here's Apostle Jacqueline Cullins.
Yes, and so Dr. Glenn, I am over here with my sticky pads and my sticky notes, and I was writing down a few things because, you know, the Bible does talk, and this is a Christian radio, a Christian broadcast station, and we're also on this program. The Bible talks about sleep, and it talks about sleep on both sides, that those that don't sleep, it can represent somebody that's wicked, and those that do sleep and getting good sleep can represent godliness. In Psalms 23, it says, "He maketh me to lie down in green pastures." That's representative of peace and being in a good place, that He'll cause you to rest. You know, and rest is, I mean, even God Himself rested one day. So there's a lot of things that are dealing with sleep that could be good or bad. There's some scriptures that talk about that a person, you know, some of the people that are wicked, they can't even sleep unless they think of something bad to do to someone else.
That's right.
You don't want to be that person.
That's right. Here it is. God rested on the seventh day. But you don't work 5 days out of the week. You don't work Monday through Friday. And now Friday, you want to go to sleep. You have to think about God. God didn't rest to the seventh day. So at least you should stay active until Sunday. Get up and go to church.
Well, you know, Dr. Glenn, if I'm sleepy, I'm getting that nap. I don't care who say what. And sometimes after work, I'll go and get one before it's time to go to bed. Give me a little nap if I'm sleepy, you know. And so, you know, but do get up one Sunday and do, you know, go out and don't just sleep all weekend and think it's your total time of rest. Now, this said noise reduction, keep the bedroom quiet to prevent awakening. And or it says use earplugs or white noise machine or fan to drown out disruptive sudden sounds. That is it. You know, I moved to a new neighborhood and there is someone with one of the loudest trucks. And I thought it was a truck, but it's actually a car, a little car. And I don't know if they got double pipes on that thing, but it's like, I mean, when they turn it on, I don't care what time it is, you're waking up because that thing is so loud.
It's a system they call it. I can't think of what it is, but it's a system and they make that noise.
Yeah, my husband was saying there has to be noise pollution. It has to be against the law for that thing to be so loud because it's going to wake you up.
It probably is against the law.
Yeah, I know it is loud. And I found out, you know, we've been looking to see where it is, and it is a little bitty car that's making all that noise. So
that person get a ticket from the local police department. If not, a state law, or maybe not a law, on the book is a local law, but it's a city ordinance.
yes.
Ordinance where you live.
And we call it being a Karen. And so one of us is going to Karen One day we're gonna care and call about that loud noise.
That person, believe it or not, is what they call maintaining a nuisance.
It is. And I know it doesn't even live like right next to me. It's down the street, like around the corner and down the street, like several houses, and it's still just like it's right outside the window.
Yeah. And somebody in your neighborhood playing constant music from the house. That's also making a nuisance. And that's also a city ordinance.
Yes, one of the things it says here is comfortable bedding. Ensure that your mattress and pillows provide proper support and avoid pain and discomfort. And that's another thing. If that mattress, they say flip the mattress. And I remember sleeping on the mattress for a while, and then we flipped it over to the other side. We couldn't do it. It was too hard. It seemed like the other side was just too firm after we had flipped it, so we had to flip it back. Couldn't get any sleep.
But you know what? I have such a soft mattress. It's called hot pocket mattress. But I'm laying it one side so often, I can feel the tip in the mattress.
That's right.
So I have to flip it.
Right.
So we're level on the other side.
Yeah, but that other side can be hard because your body's used to sleeping on the soft side. And I remember us being miserable for about 3 weeks and figured it out. Oh, we got to flip this mattress back. So we flipped it back. Didn't matter that it had an imprint, but we flipped it back.
The reason why the other side is harder than the soft spot, because you're not sitting on that soft spot no longer. So eventually, that harder surface that you're talking about, that's going to become like the other side eventually.
Yes, it will. And it says here, air quality and scent. Well-ventilated rooms and using a fan can help. Some such as lavender can promote calm. So getting a nice scent in there. And then I want to say this, because a lot of people like myself and others, we have ceiling fans in those rooms. And those blades have all that dust on them. That dust is being thrown all around the room. You need to dust that room. I know the headbed of those beds and certain things to get all that dust. And you need to get that thing cleaned up. You need to dust and get that dust off those fan blades up there.
Because the dust on the fan blades that you're not cleaning could cause respiratory problems in the future.
It does.
Because you don't need to be inhaling that stuff.
It does. And sneezing and wheezing and then wondering why your eyes are watering, why you have cold-like symptoms. And it's that dust that's in there on that fan.
It's dust. And also, it could be related to some of the scents or fragrances that's in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Because when me and my ex was together, she always had things plugged in the wall, all that stuff. I had to get rid of all that stuff. She put it right back. I get rid of them again. Because I couldn't tolerate them things.
Oh, yeah. Some of them can be very loud and they can trigger, asthma, trigger allergies. I said asthma. Allergies, and even those that have asthma, it can definitely trigger that. But I like a good scent. I like to walk in the room and it smells good and not smell, kind of dank and dusty. I like a good scent, but not too overpowering.
Yeah, because some allergies are anaphylaxis, and you will need epinephrine to get a quick healing. And anaphylaxis means it's life-threatening.
That's right. So it said, make sure that you leave the bedroom purpose for the bedroom. Reserve the bedroom for sleep and intimacy to create a strong psychological association with rest. So sleep and intimacy. That's what you need to have the bedroom for.
I like both of those.
I like both of them too, but let me just tell you this: when I was single, that whole other side of the bed, after I wasn't married anymore, it was just relegated for books and stuff. It was like a whole person on that side with all my books and notes and everything that I was doing or anything that I needed, anything that I was working with, my daily, things that I needed to keep up with, they was all on that side of the bed.
Let me tell you about the other side of my bed. One time I was dating this chick. She was so dark skinned, looked like I had a hole in the other side of the bed. I had to buy a white outfit and put it on.
Well, Dr. Glenn, I'm going to tell you, you love the intimacy, get yourself a wife. I'm still going to stay on that. Don't bring them in there. And last week I said, look before you leave. Look 2 times before you leave. So external factors like street lights, city noise, high temperatures can cause chronic sleep issues. look and see if that light is shining into the blinds or into your room from outside, because a lot of places have street lights that are shining close to your house or close to the window.
That's right. Like Coach Garrison pointed out one time on one of my shows, the cameras with the blue light that's directed around the city to the police department. And that blue light is illuminating the people's windows. So people had complaints about the blue light shining to their window. They made those complaints known at Greenville Police Department.
Hey, we're getting ready to go out on our very last break, I believe it is here. And we have a 10 more minute segment, I think. And you still have time to call in if you'd like to. But I had something to say about the blue light when we come back, because I heard what you said, but I have some misinformation, or I think I have some misinformation about the blue light, or what I think that it is. So when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about that blue light. I'm going to get clarity. And I know the Pepper Man knows already, and he'll probably call in and get us straight and give us the information that we need. But and even those of you that actually know, keep your ear open, because you can call in and let us know. This is the Glenn Johnson Show, Motivations with Glenn and Apostle Jacqueline Cullins Williams. You're listening to us right here on Awesome Radio. Back in a moment.
Hello, my name is Daniel from Greenville. We appreciate you for listening to Awesome Radio.
Awesome Radio, yeah, awesome.
Hello, I am Edward Chisholm. I am the founder and president of AC Consulting Services. We're here to offer to the community a new program. It's called the Emerging Nonprofit. God put on my heart to help those that are in need, or just have the idea of launching a nonprofit for those that are new to the nonprofit sector. And so coming soon to this network will be the Emerging Nonprofit, from idea to impact. And we will cover, and that will be coming soon. We will cover things like nonprofit development, 501c3 development, board development, community impact, data-driven organizations. These are all things emerging nonprofits need. So we are really excited about offering this to the community. If you want to contact me personally, you can contact me at 992-257-5338, or you can visit my website at www.ecKingdomWriter.com. And we'd be more happy to answer any questions that you have as we continue to build the kingdom of Christ. Amen.
Thank you for listening to the Awesome Radio Network from whatever means you're listening. We're on the call sign of WECU 1570 AM and 107.5 FM, Greenville, Winterville, the Pitt County area, and parts of Kinston on WNOS at 1450 AM
and 102.3 FM, Uburn, Bayville, Havelock, Hartsville on WBISLP 106.9 FM, our Hispanic Christian Radio on WYLT 100.3 FM, Rocky Mount, Nash, Macomb County.
Don't forget, we are worldwide and global at awesomeradionnetwork.org. Do you have something to say?
A message for the masses?
Reach us at 252-756-3137. That's 252-756-3137. We are Awesome Radio Network, where God gets glory.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Awesome Radio, the Glenn Johnson Show, Motivations with Glenn, all happening now. Our sponsors this morning, this is about the blue light from the police cameras erected throughout the city of Greenville. One thing I noticed, and I was talking to the police department, the city lieutenant will come back on the show to discuss this. Our city cameras erected nowhere in the town of Greenville. Apostle.
Yeah, so I saw that, and this is just me, for somebody told me, not just me, somebody literally said this to me, that wherever the blue lights are is actually a phone attached to it, like where you could make an emergency phone call. Now, I don't know how true that is, but somebody said that.
I know what they're referring to. That's like on a college campus, like on ECU. There's a blue light that's erected above a pole. That's where the contact phone is to contact the police department. Sometimes you'll see that blue light on a erected above a pole at a hospital. That's also a phone to call directly to the police station.
Right, but like, okay, so in the hospital parking lot, it's a bunch of those. I know they don't have that many phones in that one parking lot.
Yeah, but sometimes that blue light is also a camera, but it's erected on like an elevated platform, like they have a Walmart parking lot. It's an elevated platform. That's a camera that's taking images of the parking lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of them that are on poles, and I was told that all of them have phones, the ones that are on poles.
To my knowledge, I don't think they have phones because they're erected high up. If it was a phone, how would the person be able to get to the phone?
Well, and then, right, and then the thing is that in the parking lot at the hospital, you're already at the hospital.
But you still might have to call the police while you're in the parking lot.
The police or the 911, you know, that you can't get in and you need help in the parking lot. I'm just saying now, I don't know how, maybe, and I'm gonna keep that opinion to myself. Until I find out, you know, that it needs to, maybe we need to investigate and see how useful that is.
Let me ask you a question. You said, but they're already at the hospital. So being already at the hospital, what does that matter?
You can come right out of there and get them. That's what it matters. You right there in the parking lot. It's not like you're down the street.
How they gonna know you need assistance?
Well, I guess you use the phone there, but I guess maybe that phone is for people that don't have a phone. I mean, that's maybe the only thing I could think about.
That's why they have phones erected in the parking lot of the hospital and some shopping centers, like Walmart, for instance. That's why they're there.
Well, Bill, maybe this warrants us to dig into this matter a little bit more, because I don't mind leaving a cliffhanger and coming back and talk about that blue light.
I'd like to give out correct information.
That's right.
Dig a little further.
And then maybe call one of the sergeants in, and we can call in. You know the wonderful sergeant we had around Christmas time? Call him and let's see what he has to say about it. He'll tell us about those blue lights.
And by the way, Sergeant Darnell with the Pitt County Sheriff's Office.
That's who it is.
It's now Lieutenant Darnell.
Okay, wow. Congratulations, Lieutenant Darnell, and on your elevation there. I know that's from one place to the next, and we'd love to have him back on the show and tell us about those blue lights.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that occurred in December.
Really? That is awesome. He had a wonderful spirit. He answered all of our questions efficiently, and I was very, very pleased with having him on the show.
Yeah, let me call him and see if I can get him back on, because he's back from vacation.
Oh yeah, at least just call in and tell us, you know, he doesn't have to do the whole show, but just call in and tell us about that blue light.
Maybe he can come with the lieutenant I'm going to invite from Winterville.
Oh yeah, we can put together some things that are coming up here. You know, and it's good to know somebody. It's good to know somebody, Dr. Dan. It's good. It's good to know somebody.
And I'm glad I know all of them in case I get into a predicament. I don't think that I will, but
name dropping. I like name drop now.
I don't think I'll get into a predicament, but just in case.
Just in case. Well, we never know what tomorrow will bring. But hey, if I get into a predicament, I'm calling Jesus first, and then I'll drop their name.
Sometimes that can get you in a lot of trouble for even doing something like that. You're not to expect any special gifts or treatment.
Oh yeah, no, not like that. But you know what I'm saying? Somebody mistreat me, I'm gonna talk about him. I might drop that name. So you know, it's good to know. You know, they can help us with some things, not no special treatment, but they may be able to give us some good special information.
So you wouldn't be a snitch; you'll be just helping out the community.
Well, I did say that I snitch. Depending on if the price is right, I will.
You'll be just helping out the community.
That's right, and I'm gonna be helping myself with the reward.
But not only that, if you snitch, you get immunity from prosecution.
That's right. They're not gonna know I did it.
I'm just joking.
I know that is hilarious.
For this broadcast.
I want to say one last thing about sleep that I wanted to hit on this paper. Creating a dedicated, calm, and comfortable bedroom is essential for ensuring good sleep hygiene and overall health. I pray that we said some things here today that helps you and that will help you be able to get a good night's sleep.
You know what? I'm glad you said it because I just realized one thing. My grandchildren have never, ever stepped foot in my bedroom. And I appreciate that. I'm glad they didn't. I think because they didn't want to bother me. And if I was asleep, they didn't want to wake me up. My grandchildren have never been in the inside of my bedroom.
Is that bedroom messy, Dr. Glenn?
It probably is.
But that's why they're not coming in there, because I don't know any grandkids that don't not nosy enough to be in there jumping on the bed or doing something. I know mine will be in there right up in and get in the bed.
If they do come in there, they'll come in there putting their fingers up my nose to see if I'm still breathing.
I've got pictures of my grandkids with headphones on. They're just as comfortable on my bed and everything, right in my room, on my floor, messing with my things. So
we're gonna post this on Facebook.
Oh yeah. So if it's heat in there, they're gonna come. So that is good that they don't disturb you though. But mine will. Grandma, what time are you up? You want to eat? What do you want to eat, Grandma? They do. They be bothering me, but I love it.
I love my grandchildren, but I'm just glad they have never been in my bedroom. So they're comfortable, they're safe from me, and I'm safe from them.
Peeking in and messing with my suitcase. They be doing it all, Dr. Glenn.
They come in there, they be touching stuff.
They got up on the bed and then got down and going back out, bringing me some water, drinking out of my water. They be doing everything in there. I absolutely love it. I love being a grandparent and I love my grandchildren.
Yeah, they come in my bedroom, have a field day. I won't get any sleep.
Oh, yeah.
With 2 minutes remaining, we'll let Apostle in the broadcast for 2 minutes.
Yes. Hey, we hope that, and Dr. Glenn, we do have enough to make another subject next week. And maybe we can drop some of the things that, or bring some of the things that disrupt sleep that are like the apnea and different things.
Yeah, you will email me what to add to it, then we'll get that done.
Yes. So next week, come on back here, and we have some other things that we're going to give you. So 6 steps to better sleep, and some things and notes and hints and facts that will help you get a good night's sleep.
For a fact, we're going to include the sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea and some other conditions that you may not know about. High cortisone is one thing that'll disrupt your sleep. There are supplements and things that you can take, and even stress that'll disrupt your sleep.
And chocolate will disrupt your sleep. It's recommended that you don't consume chocolate while trying to go to sleep because of the caffeine factor.
We're going to talk about that. That's one of the clues here, is to pay attention to what you're eating, because it can disrupt your sleep and cause your stomach to be upset because you're eating the wrong thing, or you're eating at the wrong time, or you're eating too much at night. We need to get through this topic, and we're going to do it on next week. We're going to invite you right back here so we can do a part 2 of getting optimum sleep and rest. And so we're going to look forward to seeing you here on next week, right here on the Glenn Johnson Show, Motivations with Glenn and Apostle Jacqueline Cullins Williams. Part 2. Come on back so that we can give you some good things. Dr. Glenn?
I have something additional to share with you about before I go to sleep. I drink something with carbonation like a ginger ale or 7-Up that make me feel real good. I get a real good night's sleep. So we'll mention that too on part 2 of next week.
Wait a minute, you're burping. Okay. We're going to talk about this burping on next week.
It's real good. It's real good. You got to hear it more. Apostle.
Yes. Hey, come on back here next week. We'll see you next week. Awesome Radio.
Awesome radio, yes, awesome, 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 awesome.
It's Mother's Day Love Day for Awesome Radio at the